What did you find, Mr. Fry? You have seen your death, Mr. Fry.
Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here for what is to be our last sea monster flick for the season. This is a pretty good one. Okay. It's a pretty okay one, I should say. It's called Bloodtide and was filmed in Greece. So we get a lot of great, beautiful scenery. It also stars James Earl Jones. Yes, that's right. The voice of Darth Vader and the man who played Thulsa Doom in Conan the Barbarian, as well as a myriad of other films. And with him is Jose Ferrer, the great Academy Award winning actor who won his Oscar for Cyrano de Bergerac and almost played the Joker on Batman, but he turned it down, much to his regret. And of course, he's been in tons of films. He was on, especially horror films, like later in his career, Dracula's Dog. Oh God, I gotta look up some of these titles. They are something else. Let me see here. Yes, he did Crash, which was a killer car movie. The Sentinel, which is actually a really good movie about John Carradine guarding the gate to hell. And of course, Bloody Birthday and The Being. Well, films he did later in his career. I mostly remember him playing like really good comedic roles, as in playing the rich father of Hilary Duff? Steffi on Newhart. He was hilarious in that. Anyway, we also have Martin Cove, who you may remember from either Death Race 2000 or as the evil sensei in Karate Kid. I think he was in all three films, I think. Yeah. May have even made an appearance in Cobra Kai. Probably. Maybe not. Who knows? I don't really watch Cobra Kai. Don't hate me. We also have Mary Louise Weller, who probably best known from her role in National Lampoon's Animal House. She was the one who John Belushi ended up with at the end, when he'd been chasing all through the film. And we have Deborah Shelton, who probably best known for Brian De Palma's Body Double. She played the unfortunate victim in that one. And Lydia Cornell, who right after this started her sitcom, which brought her to fame, Too Close for Comfort, in which she was one of two daughters of Ted Knight, who was a cartoonist, who lived in the apartment underneath his, hence the title. Of course, the breakout star from that was Jim J. Bullock. Interesting note here about Lydia Cornell. They originally wanted her to have a nude scene in it, or at least topless, but she had just been cast in Too Close for Comfort, a family-friendly sitcom, that would be in prime time, and afraid that doing a nude scene would maybe hinder her from actually, they hadn't started filming it, so they may fire her and replace her, because, family friendly standards and all that. I mean, this is back at the time when one of the stars of the Waltons had appeared in Playboy, and she got written out of the show. So you got to watch that. But also she didn't want to do a new team. Not just for that, but just she didn't want to do one. So she talked to the makeup artist, and the makeup artist kind of made her up so that it looked like she might be nude, but you wouldn't see anything. And she was able to do the sitcom. Anyway, we open up sometime in the past on a Greek isle where a sacrifice is about to be commenced. Ooh, nice creepy opening. Anyway, we then get to the credits, and we are introduced to Neil and his newlywed wife, Sherry, who, they've been living together for quite a while, but they finally decided to make it legal, as they say back then. Anyway, they arrive on this little island. While on their honeymoon, Neil, learning that his less than stable sister has come there. She is an art historian. And he decided to mix a little family business with the fun. And they go to this odd little island where they meet the mayor, who is a little less than helpful.
Your sister is an artist.
Yes, an artist.
She is very beautiful. Milos was once a place for artists. I no longer know. Santorini, possibly. These are places you should be.
Guess he's not going to be that helpful. Maybe the innkeeper who's serving the wine can shed light on some of these things.
Seen her?
Le bien este cuisina.
Okay. He makes excuses. He's an old man. It had nothing to do with him possibly recognizing that picture. And then he makes it not too vague that he wants them to leave in the morning. Okay. Well, while they're going to their, I would say, hotel, boarding house, whatever, the equivalent for that at the island, they spy Madeline. She is there. And they give chase. And, well, when he finally tracks her down, it's not exactly the reunion he thought it would be.
Madeline.
You worry, you.
No! It's okay. He's my brother.
Well, that's quite a greeting. James Earl Jones is playing Fry, a archaeologist who isn't doing any diving because the townspeople, island dwellers, frown on that. He has befriended Madeline, who is there working on restoring a painting up at the monastery or nunnery. We'll go with monastery. And also, he has a companion himself, Babs.
He makes me clean the boat. Every day sometimes. Thinks salt water's bad for it. Thing he doesn't know is the water in this place is worse.
I make you do what?
Ooh, well, actually, you got to get used to that bickering from them. They have one of those kind of relationships. And yes, she is playing a stereotypical ditzy blonde. Hey, got to start somewhere. Anyway, after everybody's excused themselves for the night, and our newlyweds go to do what newlyweds do, Fry goes back to his sponge diving, as he told people. But in fact, he's found this underground cave that has a very interesting dividend. Yes, one of the things that happened during the sacrifices is the maidens would have a coin with them, which they would drop into the water before entering the section where the sacrifice would be. Sort of a payment of passage, as it were. And Fry has discovered this cache of coins. There's tons of them there. He's also found a walled-off section. A section that, when we saw it in the beginning, was not walled up. And, well, he figures there's just gotta be something really big and expensive back there. Why wall it up? So he brings out his C4.
Put out the light.
Think you used enough dynamite there, Butch? Jeez. Anyway, after the smoke and dust clears, something odd happens. And then Fry does something most people don't do in a horror film.
Another day.
That's right. He gets out of there. Good thing, too. 'Cause something has come out of there. Well, that's been going on. Madeline's had a very strange dream. Creepy. Wonder if it will have anything to do with the plot later on. Oh, that shot of the actress with the symbol on her head above water. That still is used for a lot of the releases on video and DVD that this originally went through. Little tidbit I thought you might enjoy there. Anyway, the next day, after Babs and Sherry give a verbal competition on which man is good in the bedroom, Sherry gives Madeline a present as a Mr. Birthday, and it's a bottle of expensive perfume, which she dumps completely all over her, and then walks out into the surf and just sits there in the water for some reason. Later, the five of them go on a little cruise around the island, and they hit something. So, Fry hops overboard to see what's up.
You hit something, all right. One of your props is cracked.
Well, what'd you see? A log, a shoal, what?
I don't know.
He was a bit put out by this. After all, their depth finder said they had over 300 feet of water out there. But Fry couldn't find anything that it could have hit. course, after they turn their back, he does reveal something to us that he found. Things get a little worse when they return to port, and the mayor informs them that there is a villager missing. She had been out in the water. Possibly they had hit her. Whether or not, no boat can leave dock. Well, kind of protest that a little bit. But, well, the villagers are in no mood to argue.
Best to play their game. These Greeks aren't known for their rationality.
Ouch. He's got some guts saying that to a man who's holding a shotgun. Anyway, we then cut to the monastery where Madeline reveals to the mother, or sister, we'll go with mother, the mother superior, that the painting she was restoring had a painting under it, and she stripped it off. Oh, it's a beautiful painting. Then she finds out there's another painting under that, and the mother's like, maybe we should just leave this as is. I mean that looks pretty nice. We don't have to dig into everything, which perplexed Madeline. Now we get to the infamous almost nude scene with Babs, where she's enjoying herself on the beach and kind of teasing some of the fishermen. That was rather mean of her, after all. She's the one stripping down around in front of everybody. Anyway, they unfortunately won't be able to help her when whatever it is her boyfriend released feels a little peckish. Yeah, at that distance, I think all they can do is just point. Anyway, it's like that little homage to Jaws there. Or in this case, rip off. Nah, that's mean of me. Anyway, news of her attack is spread to everyone, and it is considered to be a shark attack, obviously. Of which Fry is a little less than encouraged by that thought. He fully believes it was no shark. Again, Jaws. Anyway, sadly, the two victims are found. Oh, well, that was pretty nasty. Then we have a funeral in which Fry drunkenly interrupts because he doesn't want their pagan voodoo rituals being done over Babs's body. In his own way, he really did love her. But it's custom, and they're going to do it. Then Fry goes to return to the cave, and he investigates that place he opened and makes another, sadly, discovery that really starting to put the onus on him. same gunk he found on the prop on the boat. Also, he had noticed a lot of his stuff had been messed with, some of it even broken. Up top, Neil has gotten curious about just what is Fry doing. So he gets his own tanks and goes down, whereupon Fry gives him a most unwelcome greeting.
Yeah, it just had to be you, Mad Maddie's little brother.
After being convinced, Neil did not mess up his equipment. Fry starts packing up all the coins he's recovered. He's ready to get out. And then he reveals some information to Neil about Madeline.
This Madeline was the one who brought me to this place. The trip to this little island was her idea. Yeah, she's on this hole all by herself. You got it? Madeline found it, not me.
Yep. And then after they found this underground temple, Madeline started to change. Started to get to her. Like she was in tune with something. Like she was meant to be there. Weird stuff like that. Anyways, Neil and Sherry look for Madeline. Can't find her. And while Fry is preparing everything so he can haul out of there, he spies some kids reenacting an odd ceremony in which they throw a little teenage girl or preteen into the water. Well, he leaps into action for some reason and goes to rescue her, while her mother tries to do the same with less successful results. Okay, so it's somewhat humanoid. Fortunately, he cannot save the mother, although he did get a glimpse of this thing. And anyway, heading back to the dock, the mayor doesn't say anything, but he notices what exactly Fry's been doing there. Yeah. Of course, he does give him a proclamation of doom. And Fry then gets drunk that night. And in a attempt at being a good guy, he tries to tell Neil and Sherry what exactly he saw, but he's had a few too many.
Tried to save her from...
From what?
Fry, from what?
Save her from what? Fry!
Well, since they can't get anything out of Fry, they then sit there and watch the villagers do a symbolic reenactment of a sacrifice, starring the girl that Fry had saved. And she gets sacrificed to some kind of monster, the guy in a costume and everything. Very makeshift. And the mayor then explains this whole thing that centuries ago, before the church came, the villagers on this island would make a sacrifice of a virgin maiden. And this would give them a year of peace, in which the ancient god would not cause them any problems. And the maiden herself would find fulfillment. About this time, Madeline has finally uncovered the original painting and also learns why the sacrifice is a virgin. I hope that wasn't too subtle for you out there, but basically, the maiden willingly gives herself to the beast for his carnal desires, and the village is protected for another year. Well, I'd run off too if I thought that, but it's obvious Madeline's dreams and everything means she is the sacrifice. Then, in the midst of all this, the Mother Superior arrives at the party.
Dionisi!
Wow! Well, I could have done that. Well, they rush to the monastery and don't like what they find. Oof. Man, that thing did a number on everybody. Searching for Madeline, they come upon a painting and realize what Madeline is planning.
So, the little virgin is finally going to give up herself.
So, Neil plans on rescuing. Fry has other plans. And Madeline is very willing to save everyone. While Madeline lays there, awaiting her fate, Neil and Fry dive for the cave. Neil, of course, rescues Madeline, and trading back and forth on their respirator, gets her to the surface, while Fry straps the remaining box of C4, of which he only used a partial bit, to himself with the detonator and heads into the lair. Fry sacrificed himself to make amends for the troubles he has caused. What a guy. Next morning, Neil and Sherry, taking Madeline with them, head back to civilization, as it were. Oh, and as for the coins, yeah, this isn't really a very good movie at all. One main problem: you never really get a good look at the monster. That right there will kill any horror flick with a monster in it. If you never get a good look at it, just once, it's gone. Just, that's not something you can recover from. I don't care how silly or goofy it may look. They give you one quick look at it, blink and you miss it kind of thing. And they needed to show it more. Another thing, it is very slow moving. I mean, you are compensated with some great scenery. This island's beautiful. Although I understand it was extremely hot when they filmed it, and there's no air conditioning on this island. There were no nets for the to keep bugs off, and most of the cast and crew, when not working, would just sit in the ocean to keep cool. Not exactly a working vacation, as they might say. The main reason to watch this is for James Earl Jones, because he just gives some great speeches.
I kissed thee ere I killed thee. No way but this.
Why do I linger so far off the beaten path, so long past my welcome? Beaten paths are for beaten men.
Emily, a screwed up virgin and a spoiled nosy kid. What are you anyway? Just another poor little rich kid looking for kicks. What's your particular bag, huh? Ecology? Huh? Global politics?
Man, it doesn't matter what the dialogue is. He just kills it. Practically chewed the entire island to bits in his scenery chewing performance. Martin Cove did mention the fact that he thought James Earl Jones was doing Paul Robeson, a very popular actor singer from the 30s and 20s. Ironically, Jones had played Robeson in a biopic. And yeah, if you've ever seen a Paul Robeson movie like The Emperor Jones or Showboat, yeah, I can see it. The only other great performance here is Jose Ferrar's, and he doesn't try to match James Earl Jones. He pulls it back. In some of the scenes you've seen, he's very calm, very steady, which is a nice contrast between the two. But Ferrar didn't usually go all out. Sometimes he did, like when he was doing a comedy, or in Cyrano de Bergerac, where he won his Oscar. Whew, if you ever seen that film, man, the scene where he's reciting poetry while engaging in a sword fight, masterful. Cove and Weller and Cornell, and Shelton, they all do okay, but don't really give them much characters to play. Shelton's just kind of weird, as denoted her character, which is someone that had a lot of problems, and this just exacerbated it. And Babs is just kind of a one-note party girl, and Cove and Weldon are, they're your typical bland protagonists. But yeah, it's an okay film, time waster, nothing to get real excited about. For my favorite clip at the end of the credits, you'll actually see the only shot of the monster you get, and A, the monster looks pretty bad, and B, it's almost a blink and you miss it kind of thing. Although it is saved by James Earl Jones's reaction. So yeah, not a lot to talk about with this film. It's just kind of meh. So we'll leave it there. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And you might get a kick out of the film at the end of the credits.